Hey there, I'm really excited to tell you about my new product. It's called the Illustrated Desktop Hand. And basically I've put together for you a heap of anatomical structures, references, pictures, any information that you might want to have easy access to in the clinic. There's over 200 named structures, there's quick reference guides, there's QR codes, and games that you can play along the way to help secure your knowledge. I'm going to flip through this in one direction, then we're going to turn it around. But you should know it comes with a chart, and the chart is laminated and it's on an acrylic base. We have the dorsal aspect, the volar aspect, and they all are numbered, and the numbers correlate with what's going on in your book. So when we flip it open, we see some quick reference mini concept charts, and these have things like mechanoreceptor and nerve fiber information. It has a chart on compressions, Guillen's canal. It has the flexor and extensor zones, and on the flip side of these cards is other information. I broke it up into groups, so on this group we have muscles, ligaments, and blood supply. And again, all of these numbers are on your chart over here. We're going to turn the page and you're going to see specific information on the carpal tunnel and the variations of the nerve as it goes through the tunnel. You have common fractures of the hand and the wrist. This includes a video as well as written information and a picture depicting right where the fracture is. There's also a wrap-up game down at the bottom. This is the continuation. And down here we have bones and ligaments for you to look up on your chart. Then we get to the stabilizers of the hand and thumb. This is just a great reference for all the things that specifically stabilize the hand and thumb. This has a couple of pages, and then we get to our low and high palsies. This is a super quick chart here to just tell you what are involved. Is this part of a high or a low palsy? And then we look at some nerve degeneration and the stages of nerve degeneration and how it comes back, whether it's Sunderland or Sedan. So you can look at this and kind of like get a quick understanding, and also the picture's a pretty good depiction of what happens during those stages. Over here we have lumps and bumps. This is such a fun one because it's going to tell you the statistics on the lump and bump on your hands, but also the QR codes are fabulous because they show a really good depiction of what the condition is. So great reference for the things that occur in your hand or when you're looking at what's going on with your patient. And then on this side we have tunnels and more. So this is a depiction of all the different areas and places on our body, such as the rotator cuff, the cubital tunnel, Osborne's ligament, arcata froche, all of that stuff is included. And this is the last page, Peace, Love, Occupational Therapy. We're going to flip it over to the other side, and hopefully I'm going to do this where you can see it. Okay, let me turn it. I don't think you can see that, but maybe if I turn it this way. Yes, I'm going to turn it that way. Now over here, this is all about anastomosis, and we're going to flip the chart. And here we have information on motor nerves, the muscles, the motor components. The next page is a close-up of what's going on in the wrist right here. So you have it here. It's a little difficult to read. So I gave you a close-up view right here. And then for each of these things, I gave you just a smidge of information on all of those components. And then down here, if you scan this, you can go to a video that helps you name all the structures in the wrist and the hand, including the bones. It's also really great for students if you want your students to have a good activity. This is more information on those fractures. The flip side was the fractures. And this is the ending part on the different types of fractures. And then I gave you some statistics on fracture rate for the carpal bones. This is the flip side of the structures. This is the flip side of support of the hand and thumb. and I included some information on the joint capsule as well as Check-Rein ligaments and the volar capsule. This is the flip side of, well, this is actually its own chart. It's quick reference nerve compression sites. So that's a real good one to have too. Flip side of lumps and bumps, and this is the flip side of tunnels and more, and then that concludes the chart. So there's a tremendous amount of information here. I know it will be helpful to you in the clinic. One of the coolest things is, as you store your chart, it simply tucks between your chart here. So if you want to keep it someplace, you have your laminated chart, and then you tuck the information chart within it. So I hope you find this useful, and I hope this is something that you will use in the clinic because it's full of information.